And we are back. That guy.
That's impressive.
Yes. Lovely audience here at the ESL studios. Really awesome place. If you guys, well, you have seen it before. This is where WCS has been coming out of. And I mean, before we get into the players a little bit, I mean, talk to me about this studio. What's going on with you guys? Do you have any future plans? I know it's been pretty awesome so far.
Well, in the past, we've used it for a lot of things like EPSs and stuff like that, but never really on the biggest of scales like WCS. So it's really nice to use it for that. We also have another studio, actually, that isn't revealed on this cast.
Are you fired now? Did you just reveal that?
No. It's a normal studio that's been used for other broadcasts and stuff.
It has been revealed, but not revealed now.
Not revealed for WCS, at least. We use it for viewing sometimes, which is quite cool.
It's been revealed, but not revealed for WCS. So it's...
Yes, I think...
I'm trying to confuse you. I think I did it.
I think you've got me.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so we can move on then. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got that final match. It's just a kind of roadmap for you what today looks like. You've been watching matches where the bottom 4 players have been battling for that last 5th place spot. And it comes down to this PvP. We've got StarDust and we have duckdeok, and they're all ready to go. That's a weird way to say that, but it is what it is. And then after that, we're going to do the top 4, and these players are playing for the WCS European Championship. One of those top 4 is going to be your victor. But first, this match. Let's go ahead and take a look at that bracket. We can see how they got here, who they bested. We already showed the bracket. Sweet. I was too focused on your awesome face. Yeah, we could pull it up again. That's
Thanks.
fine. Go ahead and do that. So, nope, we're not going to do it.
They've got you. Oh, there
Let's just talk about... Oh, there it is. Okay, good. You guys are rebelling against me. There it is. Okay, so we can see that they've come through here, and this is where they've landed. StarDust, duckdeok. Let's talk a little bit about this PvP, Claris. What do you think about it?
I think it's going to be pretty close. It was interesting how we had PvP yesterday, and we were like, PvPs are always normally close. It's like 3-2, 3-1 maybe, and then we had a 3-0 sweep. But I think that this one should be closer. I think 3-2 in the end. Probably going in duckdeok's favor, because again, in PvP, he has all the builds.
Yeah, you know, both the players in their interviews, they kind of talked about, well, I guess it was more duckdeok, but they've, I'm trying to think, did StarDust play a PvP yet? I don't think so. This will be his first one. I know that duckdeok mentioned that against Genius, there is a bit of luck, and that is kind of something that you kind of have to either accept or combat against. And that was something that I think both Genius and duckdeok in their interviews kind of accepted. So it's going to be interesting to see if these players are going to kind of throw it up and do that kind of coin flippy, build-oriented PvP, which can sometimes happen where it's a little bit less in their control and a little bit more towards the build. Or if we're going to see kind of that rock-solid, almost Rain style, where it's like he almost rejects the fact that it's luck-based. He's kind of like, well, no, actually, I feel like I can do the macro Protoss thing and kind of pull it out ahead. So StarDust, duckdeok, they're both aggressive Protoss players. You're giving the edge to duckdeok. Any reason why in this case?
Nothing particular other than the way in which we've seen him play out Season 2, and we're already do all right in some PvPs in Season 3, but not quite as strongly as Season 2. So, but I think he'll pull it out here.
It's going to be interesting because duckdeok in Season 2, like you said, he was able to win the entire thing almost entirely off the back of PvP. He's very deadly in that matchup, and that was something we talked about yesterday, but I feel like he hit a wall in Genius. Well, I'm going to pat myself a little. Let's see if I eat these words, but I've picked Genius to win this thing, actually, quite a while ago, and he so far is looking pretty damn good to do that. So we'll have to see if that was something that he can carry on in the other matchups. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we're ready to go with the maps and everything. So we've got the commentators. Let's go ahead and pass it on to him. It's going to be Grubby and Apollo.
Thank you very much, In Control. And now it is time for us to join forces once again, Grubby, to cast another Protoss versus Protoss game.
As we did so many times, just about 1.5 weeks ago in the round of 16. So we're pretty well versed in it already, I guess?
Yeah, we've done a lot of casting of PvPs, and I was very impressed with the way that you casted.
I was very impressed with the way you casted.
Well, let's hope we can both continue to be impressed going into this next game, because this one is a big one.
There'll be suddenly an awkward silence where we're just continuing to be impressed by each other and we don't know what to say anymore. No? Oh, this is it? Okay, go on. Yeah.
This is an important one. A best of 5 to determine who will join the top 4 who will be playing very, very soon to represent Europe at the Season 3 finals. And that's a big accomplishment to be able to win this series. So just these 2 players left. We fought through all 4. Not too sure which one or which way this can go. I think it really can go either way.
Yeah, I think so. And of course, this is a tournament in and of itself. It's all to fight for. But once you're out, and you could even say that maybe from the very beginning, getting one of those 5 tickets to Canada was the primary objective.
Yeah.
Maybe not even WCS Europe winning itself. Some people do look that far into the future and try to go for the jugular, the biggest tournament, the biggest trophy. And Season 3 finals and BlizzCon after that are big targets on everyone's calendar. So now the map vetoes. Yonsu and Polar Knight going away. Can't really construe too much from that since it's a mirror matchup, so it's all preferential.
And there's only one veto, of course, of the 7-map pool, 1 veto each, leaving us with 5. Now they are going to determine the order, which we'll find out very, very shortly here. duckdeok, of course, did play at the Season 2 finals, the previous champion of the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. StarDust, on the other hand, though, is a newcomer. Played in Challenger in Season 2, where his opponent won the Premier in Season 2, and now is in Season 3 Premier League and is now fighting for that chance to knock out and keep this player away from being one of 2 players to represent Europe twice in a row, MC being the other one. And StarDust, a fantastic year that he really has had. You know, before this year started, I think a couple of people obviously knew who he was and run into him a couple of times, but in the big international scene, I think everybody knows who StarDust is now.
Yeah, now they do. He's put his name on the map. Before, unless you were an avid follower of StarCraft 1, StarCraft Brood War, you wouldn't have known him necessarily, known as M18M and then Sasan. And it was kind of with the name Sasan that he started getting more known, mostly in America, because he was playing on the North American server, while still, I think, being situated in Korea, taking rank 1, streaming, and you had some people, I think now they call themselves a hipster, they styled themselves a hipster. They started being the early followers of StarDust. But it wasn't until his big breakout performance, winning DreamHack, that he became a name for the annals.
And to be honest, it's a kind of similar, not quite the same, but a similar story for duckdeok in StarCraft 2. Played in GSL from the beginning almost in 2010.
And GSTL?
GSTL was a big name. Well, not a big name, but a good name that we saw quite a lot. Coming out, helped his team do well. Has been on Team MVP for 3 years now, basically. A long, long time. Did have 1 stunt in Code S in 2012. Didn't really do anything and couldn't make it out the first group stage. Fell straight back down into Code A. And unfortunately, or fortunately, at the start of this year, was knocked out completely of the GSL. The Premier League and Challenger League, completely out.
Which was a fateful moment, because
where he decided to switch.
Considering his future, what shall I do, where shall I live, where shall I go? And he came to Europe. And the rest is history. Season 2 winner forever.
That's right, and this player coming in to the Premier League with some fantastic stats there, as we do see in the top left-hand side. And as you pointed out, was a previous Brood War player. Is old when it comes to how often he's been playing professionally, including Brood War and StarCraft 2. A long, long time professional. Now looking to see if he can represent Europe to go to the Season 3 finals, where there will be a lot of top-tier players. 16 fantastic players will go to Season 3 finals.
The absolute finals.
And then, of course, the grand finals, BlizzCon, the World Championship finals there.
Yeah, 16 at both, actually.
And now we are almost ready here. duckdeok, who made his name really on PvP in Season 2, beating out some of the best in the business, including the best. And now he goes head-to-head against StarDust. My Insanity versus MVP. It is about to begin game number 1 of this best of 5 is here now. As down to the bottom left-hand side of Frost. Playing for Team MVP, the current reigning champion, it's duckdeok. But his throne is soon to be given to another later on this afternoon. Up here to the top left, playing for My Insanity, making him very proud over the last couple of months, it's StarDust. And he's had some really nice interviews this past few days. I really like them.
I adore his interviews. Freaking adore. duckdeok is really adorable too, but StarDust, of course, he talks English, and he has a lot of funny things to say
He does. He
about
does.
his family and his wants in life.
His sister.
Yeah, making people angry.
All right, Grubby, we have a 10 gateway immediately thrown down here by StarDust.
My word.
My word. What word?
Our word.
Our word. Ooh.
Ooh.
Our word.
10 gates will lend itself perfectly to a very quick warp gate research.
That's right, and well, I mean, it's not, you know, lined what exactly it could be, because with fast cybernetics code could also mean a fast tech structure.
Could be a void ray proxy. Sometimes
Yeah.
you see that from a 10 or 11 gate. But the problem with that, he doesn't know where the opponent is. Now, he could
right.
ask him nicely, but I don't think duckdeok will say it.
And unfortunately for StarDust, is scouting in the incorrect pathways. We can see that his opponent is bottom left. He's going to have to go top right, and then go bottom right, and then eventually to the bottom left here. So he's going to find out rather late in this game. And you can see the differences with the cybernetics cores here. A big chunk. What's that? Have a quick look here. A good 20 seconds difference.
Yeah, and then he's going to pull chrono boost. So maybe every chrono boost that he puts on more is another 10 seconds. So you said 20?
Yeah.
That difference can become 30 or 40.
Wow.
Now, StarDust, of course, doing a 10 gate means during a lot of time you're not building probes. And that kind of difference really counts in the income that you get. So you have a lot less income. Then he was making a zealot. So again, he had to stop making probes. So this will completely be a 3 gate all-in push from StarDust.
And duckdeok comes in here for the first time and says, hold on a minute. You got a few less probes than I have. And we'll immediately realize what's going on. But from this position, he's already got 2 gateways. He's just thrown down a 3rd. And he's chrono boosting just like his opponent was into the cybernetics core. How confident do you think that duckdeok is upon seeing what his opponent's doing?
I think I've seen him stop this before. And luckily for him, he scouted in the correct position and found it right away. And StarDust on the last position. Now duckdeok is making mothership core. And what we're gonna have to look out for is the way that duckdeok uses his mothership core.
Oh, one
He needs to make a pylon.
probe. There's got
Oh.
another probe right behind it, though. He's
Okay.
got 2. He
That's
did bring
smart.
2.
Now, let's take a look at how he uses Mothership Core. He cannot wait for Photon Overcharge, so what duckdeok is looking to do is do a time warp on his own main ramp, but he still needs 20 energy more or so. He's gonna want to do a time warp and kill as many units as he can as StarDust tries to scramble up that ramp. If he can do that, he can turn the unit count in his favor. If he can't, or if the Mothership Core dies prematurely, it can quickly spiral out of control for him, but StarDust has a short timing window to attack.
All right, well, let's see how patient duckdeok can be and precise with what he needs to do. And first of all, there's a couple of hits on that Stalker. Time warp almost available. Still got about 20 energy left, unfortunately. Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. He has got that now. But StarDust does warp in a few more units. Likewise does duckdeok, and here becomes the first fight. One Stalker down already.
Not gonna work at all, is it?
No, it doesn't look too good. It's
He's got less
5
units.
to 3.
Less units and less probes.
And the time warp is available, so he can use this at any point. Clears off the pylon inside his main base, or at least is attempting to. One more hit would have done it, but he doesn't want to take too much damage onto these Stalkers. The shields is down. Photon Overcharge activated here. Inside the main base. 3 Zealots, counter Zealots. So smart here.
So smart.
Saying, all right, well, I'll defend for a good amount of time with my Photon Overcharge, and in that meantime, I might as well use some warpings on the other side because you can't break me.
And you're gonna warp in aggressively. There we go, 1 warp in, 2nd warp in, and if a 3rd comes before he spots the Zealots, he will have no defenses whatsoever.
And beautiful play here from duckdeok, just
He doesn't even
scouting
have
it
enough
early.
minerals to make a 3rd Zealot.
Well, this is not looking too good here, is it? 3rd Zealot is warped in aggressively here, so StarDust is saying, all right, this is it. This is it. I gotta go for it. The probes are gonna come as well. I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do anything. But as you can see, duckdeok's throwing Chronobus into his gateway. He's gonna try and get as many units as he can. To be honest, he might as well just pull his own probes and kill absolutely everything here. All he needs to do is defend this one last push, and duckdeok will take map number 1.
Easily.
Easily taking map number 1 here.
Yeah.
As the probes do come off the line, he realizes that all I got to do is clean these units up, targeting down the Stalkers very smartly here just to bring down that as fast as possible. And ring around the rosy. The Stalker numbers in favor of duckdeok and not looking good at all. It looks like StarDust has brought his probes to fight. And it is now 6 or 7 Stalkers versus 3. And I'm not very good at math, but I'm good at math to tell you that 7 is bigger than 3.
Yes.
GG. All right.
Not a very good first game. Now, the first probe that died didn't plant the pylon close by. The second probe came kind of late, made a pylon, and he had to wait for the pylon to warp in. Now, although his warp gate research was done 25 to 30 seconds faster, roughly, maybe 20 or 30 seconds, but his warp in was only 14 seconds faster than duckdeok's. So he warped in, goes up the ramp, 10 seconds. 4 seconds later, there was duckdeok's warp in. So whatever advantage he got in terms of warp in speed, for the huge economic deficit that he had, he barely did anything with it. He barely could do anything with it. So bad build, maybe. A lot of people don't think 10 gate is very good anymore.
I guess you can say that duckdeok's a little bit fortunate to scout in first place on a 4-player map as well, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's true. That's very good that you point that out. Because if he hadn't, maybe later third gate, maybe he chrono boost stalkers instead of warp gate, and then he could get outmatched in numbers. But he did scout the correct way.
Yeah.
It happens.
Happens, and PvP can be brutal sometimes, especially if you're willing to play like that, because you are almost to a certain extent banking your opponent doesn't scout you first.
Yeah.
It would help you out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true. He gave away that control of fate.
And he put it in the hands of, some may say, a dice,
Yes.
but others say not. But whatever that cryptic message means.
Whenever these imaginary people disagree with each other, they're just gonna have to work it out with each other.
Derelict Watcher is the next map between these two players, as we are now ready to begin map number 2. StarDust tried something a little bit risky. Didn't work.
And
duckdeok starts strong.
wish you guys could see the game screen now. Wish you could see it.
Grubby's getting excited over here. As in the center of the map here, Grubby, looks like we...
Spawning in the middle of the map, we've got...
As duckdeok is up here to the top right, of course. I want to skip on these introductions a little bit here.
Yeah, draw them out.
We have
by all means.
StarDust in the middle of the map with the probe. And we can clearly see that this is going to be something a little bit unusual, Grubby.
Yes, I think so too, Crazy Sean.
Well, in he goes.
So what does this mean, Sean?
I don't know, man.
You're the analyst here. I mean,
You know, I think he's going to save that pylon for later on, where he can warp in units aggressively to a future date.
Yes. And everyone needs supply, right?
Everyone needs supply, so he has to build the pylon somewhere. You know, it could be in his main base, it could be over here.
You know, there's like 3 people who believe us right now.
Yeah,
I feel sorry
I'm
for
really
them.
sorry. I shouldn't lie to you.
Yeah.
We're going to see an aggressive strategy here by StarDust. Oh! What's up? Oh, duckdeok. Well, he's going to pull off a couple of probes here. More than 4.
Really? That's unusual, trying to take down the gateway, but I guess he found it that early.
I mean, can this work with the amount of probes he has to bring this to... I mean, he's confident in this, otherwise he wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah. He's gonna cancel or kill the first gateway. It's probably gonna get cancelled. Then he attacks the second one. StarDust is maybe gonna try and chrono his zealot. Then it just brings mobs and definitely kills it off.
All right, there's one down, and duckdeok is saying, well, this series I thought would be a little bit more difficult. You're really making this easy for me. As the probes go into town on the other gateway. Another pylon made just in case of the first one. 2 probes come off the line and says, oh, I think I can do enough with just 6. And behind this, a pylon and gas has started.
Oh, he lets it finish. And that's so that he can start a cyber core at home. If he doesn't let it finish, his core will be miles away.
And look at that. duckdeok was actually, are you going to go ahead with this? And decides to pull off a couple more probes and then says, oh, you're not actually building anything, so
Yeah.
I get you.
No rush.
So the gateway's going to go down, and likewise with the pylon soon. Probes will go back to work. So StarDust, through this, has created himself a lead with the cybernetics core.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean for him?
Well, since he doesn't have a gateway, I can only assume he's going to upgrade air attack and start Stargates. Maybe carriers, maybe Tempest, or maybe he's forgetting about his gateway for now because he wants to be making more probes right now.
And you're more credible than me, so I'm going to say 6 people believed you.
Hey, wait a minute. You can make him a mothership core without a gateway, of course.
Well, he started his mothership core, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
All
pretty
right.
smart. And still no gateway.
All right, well, for anybody that is new to StarCraft and doesn't believe the hell what we're saying, you can't really build any units without a gateway.
A gateway is a unit producing structure. It produces army. Without a gateway,
You have no army. And duckdeok goes in. Says, okay, well, there's a curvature to the cyber core, right? And we'll actually get into the middle line. Picks off 1 probe and has a dance around. Sees no gateway himself.
now of course mothership core technically is army too, but you can only make 1 of it.
Yeah.
We're getting really basic here. You can only make one mothership core. And it's fine against one zealot, but not so much against 2 stalkers.
So, Grubby,
Sean.
you're that's my name. Don't wear it out. You're a professional player, and let's imagine that you transformed over into duckdeok's position, and you were sitting in his chair. How happy would you feel with yourself being 1-0 in the lead, and this happening in this game? Would you be smiling?
Not too happy. I'd be.
Would you smile?
I mean.
Inside?
No, I don't think so. But thanks for the question.
No, I just would like to get the truth out of you.
Yeah, it's good to know oneself better too. Very interesting what StarDust is doing. No gateway into Nexus. Meta. And then 3 gateways. This is very crazy. 1 zealot, 1 stalker from duckdeok, and somehow StarDust anticipated that duckdeok is not going to go for a 3-4 gate all-in after that. Which, by the way, I've tried before against something like this. Didn't work, so...
Wow.
This is so meta by StarDust.
This is smart. This is smart. Obviously, duckdeok expecting his opponent to, tighten up a little bit and expecting of an attack.
Yes.
But this zealot now from duckdeok is actually going to get all the information in the world. He's going to come down here and be like,
Wait a minute.
You weren't meant to do this.
Yes.
And he sees the Nexus near completion, and to be honest, the opportunity for aggression has been and gone.
Yes.
As in the mothership core now has energy for a photon overcharge and a complete Nexus on the natural. And things are starting to even up a little bit in a weird sense. There's 28 probes to 25 with a faster Nexus complete here by StarDust. They've got roughly the same gateway count. Was it 3 to 4? 3 to 2 at the moment? 3 to 3 soon?
Yeah. So weird. So, hello, our dear viewers. If you just tuned in, let us describe how weird this game was. StarDust made a Nexus before he made a gateway. Kinda. Before he had a gateway. And he made a robo before his first gateway finished. That's weird.
And it don't really have the opportunity to get away with that very often.
Does not compute.
And recall there of that mothership core. And all of a sudden, despite what we just saw, this game...
It's equalized.
Is equalized.
Completely.
It's completely weird to see.
So, if I was smiling, Sean...
What would you be doing now?
Yeah, frowning. Frowning, maybe pouting.
I can't believe you're pouting. I can't believe this has happened. Yeah. All right, so double gas has been thrown down here by duckdeok on his natural, so he will have a higher gas income than his opponent who's without that at this moment, but has thrown down a Twilight Council here.
Yeah, Forge for duckdeok, Twilight Council for StarDust, now a Forge for StarDust. Is he going to do a Dark Shrine? Or a Templar Archives? Or Charge, or Blink? I don't know.
I think... I don't think the Dark Shrine would be the best rep, considering that they're so equal.
Yeah. Charge. Okay.
And they've both seen each other's observers. One will live, one will die.
In the game of observers... I'm not going to finish that sentence. You just said it. Alright, Observer sees this small little move out. I don't think this is enough army to force a photon overcharge. It's just like mind games. A proactive defense is better than a passive defense because it just raises more questions.
And those questions need answers.
And
oh my god, he said that.
StarDust is looking for those answers with the Observer in the base, which is now getting chased out by 2 Stalkers and Observers.
So with the Observer now gone, StarDust is in the dark. I mean, what do you think about duckdeok here, by the looks of it, opting to take a 3rd Nexus at this point?
Let's see. StarDust saw this Robo Bay. Oops, sorry. Oops.
That one right there, Copy.
Yeah, that one. Well, he saw the Robo Bay, so he knows about Colossi. Choosing not to, oh my god, suddenly going for Stargate and Fleet Beacon, because this is such an open map that if you position yourself outside your natural rather than inside, your charge zealot maneuvers have a high chance of success of attacking Colossus armies. So, duckdeok, is he choosing to be defensive? So far he is. He's making a 3rd Nexus. He's playing this out PVZ style. Colossus and 3rd.
Both of them have got full information, or excuse me, duckdeok is the only thing he hasn't seen is the Templar Archives, and to be honest, he actually hasn't seen the 3rd Nexus, despite his Hallucinate Phoenix B-Nex. It hasn't gone down. 3 extra gateways went down first.
Can't see what isn't there, unless you're...
I think he may have just caught the edge of it there, though, just as it was planted down. But the Templar Archives is the only piece of information missing, and maybe, I guess we could say that duckdeok's in the middle of the map with his army. That also may be a missing piece of information.
Yes.
But he now does see it with his Observer.
Okay, sees this army coming in. Darkstrike now coming out for StarDust, who suddenly, somehow, got into a position where he's yet again behind, I guess. He's 12 workers down. That's the supply difference between them, pretty much. That's pretty much.
How did he fall so far behind with workers? I mean, obviously, it's just, you know,
It's a choice.
production.
It's a choice. It's like, I'm going to stay on 17-17 on my next eye because I want to be safe. Maybe I want to attack you. And duckdeok is like, well, I can use Colossus to defend. I don't know.
Well, he's starting up again. He just started 2 more probes here, but the army supply is actually still in favor of duckdeok here. Just by 2, just by a single zealot or so. And StarDust now in a bit of a awkward situation because he is behind in economy. He isn't far ahead with his army. So what is he really looking to achieve at this point?
Only thing he's got, Apollo, is a War Prism. He's going to drop 4 zealots on a cannon. And then he's going to warp in DTs. That's what he'll maybe try to do. Maybe he can snipe the Robo and limit the opponent's observer amounts.
Well, one observer just to squeeze out there. That's a lot of DTs. Oh my boy, that's a lot of gas investment there.
That's duckdeok's only observer.
And the robotics facility's gone.
Now a cannon being attacked. There's just 1 observer. He can now use DTs in the other bases.
Oh wow, this is actually kind of smart here from StarDust, doing a lot of damage here.
Interesting prioritization, taking down gateways. I don't know if that's just on attack move or if he's choosing to take them out, but it's gonna limit the opponent's army production because, as we said, established earlier on in this game, a gateway is a unit production structure.
Where is duckdeok going with 1 observer that's in the main base? DTs will easily defend this at this moment. There's the observer, but the army of duckdeok's in the middle of the map, and I'm not too sure
Time warp,
what
DTs.
he's doing.
Maybe feedback on Mothership Core, time warp on Colossus, DT chasing. It's dangerous.
This is remarkable that duckdeok's out here like that. And he is going to move back here, but that's very dangerous. I mean, like you said, he could have lost everything there.
Yes. What is that?
Oh! Oh my god! He's looking for the observer.
And he knows that duckdeok will suddenly feel exposed.
And is waiting behind.
Bring an observer in. This is so smart.
He hasn't found it yet, though.
There it is! There it is! There it is! StarDust! Oh, StarDust!
Oh.
Wow!
I think it's gone.
Wow.
And the DT, it's gone, and now the DT's gone crazy. The observer's actually gone. And the robotics facility is only just now being built on the natural here. A massive window of opportunity for StarDust to go absolutely crazy. He's got 7 dog, 10 paw out.
Oh my god, so technical play, so smart. So smart. There's just 1 cannon here. 2 DTs, unpowering the unit producing structures.
And well, the observer is going to get back into this game. Really smart move there by StarDust, and he really has got himself back into this game.
There goes the cannon. This Nexus is sure to die.
Wow. Uh-oh. The observer's close. Is it? Where is it?
It rallied the wrong way.
Oh, dearie me. It's on the wrong side.
Oh!
Nice pick up with the DTs there, but down falls the Nexus, and somehow, let's just remind ourselves at the start of this game, was a proxy double gateway that was spotted and destroyed
By probes.
by probes into StarDust, who currently has killed 23 probes, has 3 Nexus over 2.
And is still doing warp pressure in the main base, warping in zealots and bringing DTs. And this is something that duckdeok will have trouble defending against.
But can StarDust defend what's coming across the map? There's a couple of Colossus in there, there's a lot of Zealots, a couple of Archons.
This time accompanied by an observer.
If that observer gets picked off, that's pretty big, but...
Small army from StarDust.
Yeah.
There's some stalkers in there, they're not very useful. It's a funny little nook that they work themselves into.
Well, it looks like the fight's going to happen here. A couple of DTs with this. Observer's there, and duckdeok doing a lot of damage at this moment. The army is melting incredibly fast here by StarDust, who's played this game out so, as you said, technical, and has worked wonders.
But he had the way worse army.
But he's had the worst army. And all of a sudden, duckdeok says, all right, well, I have an observer with me now. You can use your DTs if you want to. And duckdeok steamrolls and is going to kill his opponent's third base. What a back and forth tug of war game this was.
Wow. Really thought, if we look back at StarDust's army and it looked good, Archons, Immortals, maybe he can hold. But it looked bad. And duckdeok was like, yeah, I'm going to roll over it.
And here we go. duckdeok actually moves in, and this game is just going absolutely backwards and forwards. And duckdeok does take it anyway. 2 games in a row, and is now a single game away from claiming back-to-back season finals here.
StarDust down 0-2. Trying to win so far with a multitude of quick and witty and smart tricks. Tried it, but none of them led to victory.
Do you think that he needed to use these tricks in that mid game rather than just playing what we almost described as an equal game after the Nexus both were complete?
I think he recognizes that duckdeok is just overall a slightly superior player. I think he sees that. And I think right now, in their current shape, I think that's probably a fair assessment. And that's why he tries to win in these tactical ways. But it's also just partly the way that StarDust likes to play. He does like to play, you know, a little bit offbeat.
He's a trickster.
Trickster.
Well, he's going to have to pull some cards from those sleeves now. Something special needs to happen because he's losing 2-0 and needs to win 3 games in a row now against a player who he described as pretty much made his name on the back of PvPs in Season 2 and ended up as the champion, beating MC in the final. And now we are going to go into map number 3. It's going to be Whirlwinds. Who will win this next game? This could be a very fast series. It could go on for a lot longer. As down here in the bottom right-hand side of Whirlwind, playing for Team MVP, representing Korea, it's duckdeok. He goes head-to-head again here for the 3rd game in the row. Against the player for My Insanity from Korea, it's StarDust.
So far, this is the first game where StarDust has made 11 probes before making his move. So that's something. So far on equal footing. Nothing crazy happening yet.
Well, let's see when that takes a turn for the worst, some may say, if we look at the score in relating to his decisions.
Look at that trick with the probe squeezing through the pylon and the Nexus.
Loves it.
Loves it.
By the way, Grubby,
Yes?
we seem to be missing a structure.
I think I wanted to say, oh, why didn't I say it? Would get so much karma now. I was gonna say, how about a Nexus first this game?
Yeah, you can't say that now.
Well, I really was thinking it. You gotta believe me, please. Do you believe me? If you guys could see his face. So, anyway, I was thinking Nexus first, and there we go.
Wow.
Now duckdeok does scout. He scouts every game. He's not like the kind of guy who doesn't scout at all the whole game in PvP. He usually sends out a scout at the 3-minute mark. If he scouts in the right direction, that would be fortuitous for him.
I can't believe this. StarDust has really approached this series with so much on the line in such a dramatic fashion.
Yes.
Which way does this probe go?
Up.
Up, 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 and away.
Up, up, up. No, it's not going up.
To the left.
Maybe cross map? No, he's going to the left.
All right, so
Aww.
he's gonna scout again in the right direction.
All 3 faces of Lady Luck are smiling upon duckdeok tonight.
And I'm sure he'll be smiling himself now because you come into this, you've already got double gases. Your cybernetics core's finished. And you see a Nexus first and you say, you have to be kidding me, this guy is unbelievable.
And he didn't show that he knows.
Yeah, he didn't show his probe, he immediately chrono boosts into the cybernetics core. And that probe's gonna be hidden away, it will build the pylon. And it will start to launch its attack soon. I mean, to set up to launch its attack.
Now, as the Nexus first guy, it's very difficult to know if you're going to be facing massive amounts of Gateway only, or Gateway Oracle, or Gateway Blink.
Yeah,
You don't know.
And StarDust, I just can imagine StarDust right now saying, I can't believe he's in the last position again.
And what he doesn't know yet, but maybe he does, I got scouted first position again. And it's just bad luck.
Wouldn't it be cool if this Stalker was able to pick off that probe?
It would be cool.
But it's not going to happen here. It will get around. But at the same time, that Stalker's going to get across the map even faster than it would do if it was searching for a probe here.
So we're at the 5-minute marks. Mothership core comes out. We need 90 seconds to have the first photon overcharge. 6 minutes and 30 is a salvation moment, a breather for StarDust. 6 minutes and 30. But the first warp in is gonna come a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah, and I think he started to identify what the hell's going on here. There's a probe and pylon right outside his front base, and he has spotted that now. The Mothership core going into the main base to pull the units back a little bit, or at least force a warping if there is any, not warping, but units being made to go there to be able to do that, because probes will die in that main base.
Probes will die.
Probes will die.
Use your movie voice again.
Probes will die.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
On the 6th of October in 2013, probes will die. As duckdeok moves forward here, and he's looking to win this. He's actually looking for that.
You're a
Alaska.
box office hit?
I'm going to make my name one day doing those.
Okay,
and
great.
it's probably just going to be on my YouTube channel. As the Stalkers do forward push here. And then all of a sudden, StarDust is like, I'm in a bit of a pickle.
There we go, 6:30, Photon Overcharge comes out. But only one base is protected. The Mothership Core can go into the main base once again to poke. But for now, it's an arms race. It's an arms race. Stalkers have to stay out.
Is there a way that StarDust can hold on to this game?
Maybe.
Maybe? Is that polite?
Yes.
All right, well,
You can hear
I heard it in your voice. All right, so more and more units getting warped in here by duckdeok. Currently 10 Stalkers to 6. Photon Overcharge will be down in seconds time here. The probes are
5
coming off the
seconds
line.
and it's gone.
And here we are about to have the assault that could put duckdeok as 5th place in the World Championship Series for Europe. Could go to the Season 3 finals with a successful fight here. And StarDust, everything on the line here. He not only needs to win 3 games in a row, he needs to win this fight. Probes are off the line. 3 additional Stalkers come in. Is this where duckdeok claims a 3-0 time? What goes down? The Stalkers targeting down everything they can. They're microing back rather well here. But the numbers are 12-9. 2 Zealots in the mix there that are helping out.
But double time warp gives duckdeok the micro advantage.
And there we do have 1, 2, 3 Stalkers dropping in numbers. And duckdeok, no, he's not the champion this season. No, he's not getting back-to-back first places, but he is going to Canada and will represent Europe again in the Season 3 finals and keeps, most importantly, his BlizzCon dreams alive. Currently sitting at rank 14, Grubby. Pushes himself to another season finals.
Said in those pre-game interviews you saw that it was almost too much to believe in, but he really, really wants it. And you can see that indomitable spirit, that will to fight and the will to win. Victorious here today, even though it wasn't yesterday, and he clinches that 5th spot. Unfortunate for StarDust. Thank you so much for coming here and giving us your awesome games and your awesome fighting spirit.
That's right. Congratulations to duckdeok, and as you say, thank you to StarDust. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him in the World Championship Series for next year as we are drawing towards the end of 2013 in the World Championship Europe. Look at duckdeok's face again. Those emotions starting to come out, smiling as the GG was called, and he knows how important that is for him, not only for BlizzCon, but right now to once again represent Europe at that season finals.
Yeah, beautiful winning moment there for duckdeok, and StarDust, melancholy, of course. Goodbye, Canada, but
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of him yet.
Yeah, not the last of him yet, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him, to be honest. But duckdeok now joins our top 4, which we'll be getting into very shortly. MMA Vortex will be happening so soon now. Everybody's excited for that game. MC versus Genius, the clash of brains will go head-to-head in our second game. And of course, duckdeok now joins those 4 players to go to the Season 3 finals.
Who does have the bigger brains?
Well, that's what we're going to find out, hopefully, this afternoon.
I was thinking Homo MCS or Homo Genius. 2 human species evolved separately. One has the bigger brains, the other the thicker skull. Let's see.
And that'll
who
be
it
the
is.
second series of the afternoon. So now it's time for the Wins interview with In Control and duckdeok.
All right, thank you, Apollo and Grubby. I'm sitting here with duckdeok. duckdeok is your 5th seed. He's going to be going to Toronto to fight in that WCS Season 3 finals. So another round of applause, please, for duckdeok. Just hopefully you guys can hear that. There is a live audience here. I just realized how weird that is. All right. I do want to ask you a couple of questions, maybe just one question about the series. It was a pretty quick 3-0. StarDust tried something a little bit different every time, but it seemed to be kind of the cheesy flavor. Were you ready? I mean, you were ready for the cheese, but what's going through your head when you see that Nexus first on Whirlwind game number 3?
엄청 빠르게 3대 0으로 이겼는데 거의 매번 스타더스 선수가 좀 이상한 전략을 좀 시도했었는데 제일 마지막 경기에서 이제 넥서스를 먼저 짓는 걸 보고 어떻게 생각했었는지.
저도 그 빌드를 써본 적 있기 때문에 찌르면은 맞기 힘들다는 걸 알고 찔렸어요.
I used to play this build too, so I actually know that if you just go aggressive and push against it, it's really easy to win. So I had a easy win there.
Okay. Now, duckdeok, you are the previous season champion. Here you are once again going to the finals. I guess my question to you would be, do you have any words for your fans in terms of expectations? Are you really going to go into this thinking you can win it, or have you already accomplished the goals that you want? What are your thoughts going into the finals?
이제 시즌 파이널에 진출을 하게 됐는데 소감이 어떤지, 그리고 팬들한테 하고 싶은 말이 있는지 하고 또 어디까지 갈 수 있을 것 같은지 시즌 파이널에서.
시즌 파이널에서는 한 4강 정도까지 갈 수 있고 응원해준 팬들 굉장히 고맙고 또 어제 3대 0으로 졌음에도 위로해준 팬분들이 많았거든요. 그분들에게 특히 더 감사해요.
So my expectations for season finals is round of 4, and I'm really thankful to my fans, to all my fans who are cheering for me, especially those who said that I should cheer up after my loss yesterday. So I really thank them a lot.
All right. Thank you very much, duckdeok. Congrats again. And thank you to you guys for tuning in. It's been awesome. That's going to conclude the lower brackets. We know our 5th seed. Now we're going to figure out which of these top 4 guys are going to place where and who's going to be your Season 3 champion. But first, we're going to go over to social media with Kalaris.
Thanks very much, Jeff, and welcome to the little desk here at my own for now, as Jeff's over there being a little bit busy himself. We're just going to give you a quick rundown of exactly what our lovely sponsor, Rocket, is doing for us here at the season, the European season finals. As we have Rocket giving away some free stuff, and I can tell you exactly how to get your hands on some free stuff. So all you need to do is go over to facebook.com/Rocket, and then scroll down to the lovely picture of Damaga's face, because it is oh so lovely. And leave a comment there about who you think is going to win the entire thing for this weekend. Yes, Damaga, he's a pretty cool guy. And you can win, actually, a signed keyboard by Damaga, of course, by just predicting who the winner is in that section. So pretty good stuff indeed. All right, guys, we're going to go to a commercial break. And then when we're back, we're going to continue the festivities on in WCS Europe.
Hello people, I'm Damaga. I want to show you a new Rocket mechanical keyboard Rise MK Pro. You can order it in 4 different switches. In addition, this keyboard has a 32 bits processor and 2 megabytes flash memory. You can store all your configuration directly on keyboard, and clicks feels really smooth and precise. That's why I like Rise.